Hi there folks, welcome to Dunsy's Guitar World. Today we're going to look at something a bit different. Something that's probably the oldest thing I own apart from my house. And my house is only 2 years older than this particular piece of musical equipment. So as you saw in the intro, it is this. A Gibson EH-125 lap steel from, get this, 1940. Can't really play it, the action's a wee bit high. Now, I've always liked the sound of open-tuned slide guitar. Never been a very good slide guitar player, to be honest though. This is just a bit of wood, a pickup, some tuners, and it just sits on your lap. And this one is an open G tuning, so I like the sound of slide guitar. And I saw this for sale about 2 or 3 years ago. I've had it for ages. And I thought, I'm going to buy it, because this is a historic piece of equipment. Gibson, made in the old Kalamazoo factory in Michigan, and I bought it with the express purpose of learning how to play it. Needless to say, I've never learned how to play this properly at all. In fact, I just got it back about a week ago. I loaned it to one of my friends for the last 6 months. So I got it back and I thought, I'm going to change the strings. Not that the strings really needed changing because it's hardly been used since it came into my ownership. But I thought I'll change the strings and I'll make a little video about this, and I'll do the very limited playing that I can on this. So let's have a closer look. So there's plenty of finish checking on this, plenty of lacquer checking, plenty of dents and dings. It's been played, that's for sure. Not played that much by me, but it's definitely been played. An old looking instrument right there. So no frets, surprisingly enough. Old Gibson headstock logo and a fleur-de-lis. Now that's the strings. Changing the strings, putting new strings on it. That's the strings I got, so big neck on this as well. It's a chunky neck. It's only got binding on the top. That's the first look. Let's check the back out. So again, plenty of playware. That's sat on a few people's laps. Plenty of lacquer checking as well there. Look at the size of that neck. Now the tuners have been replaced. There's a serial number. F is for 1940, the next bit. It's a factory order number. Now the tuners have been changed. These are, I think these are from the 60s maybe, from like a 60s junior or something like that. So there's the cover, underneath the cover there. So it's all been rewired. It's got new electrics. The person I bought it from said it has been rewired. It's the original pickup, and it's got new pots, capacitors there. Some of the old leads, some of the old wires look like they're original as well. So he has put copper foil inside, because it's just a single coil pickup. Put copper foil inside there just to stop the hum. Now I don't know what you call it. You call it a fingerboard? I guess you call it a fingerboard, although you're not putting your fingers on it. But you need to know where you are, because you need to play right. If they had frets, you need to play right on the fret. Try and keep it in tune, keep it in key, keep it in pitch. So look at the big brass grounding strip on that as well that goes to underneath the bridge. It's a big chunk of bridge. So here's it with the new strings on outside in the sunshine. It's a beautiful old instrument, I've got to say. I mean, I'm glad I got it. I don't play it enough, but it's just a beautiful old instrument. I love old guitars. And lap steels, old lap steels. So very much a piece of Gibson history here from 1940. So maybe like do a video once a month for the next 6 months, mainly so I can keep track of my progress, if indeed there is any progress, and see if I'm getting any better. So it's in open G, which I find to be the easiest I can play. Very, very rudimentary open G licks on this. You know, like if you've been playing guitar for about 6 months, that's the kind of level I'm at with this. So yes, I'm going to try and learn how to play it properly. You know, with a bit more finesse, I think, because when I'm playing it, it's really rattly, which I think is more to do with the way my fingering of the holding the bar. I mean, I've been in a few bars in my time, but I've never held one of them. And yeah, learn a bit more finesse, learn how to do it properly, learn more kind of turnarounds. I mean, if it's an open G, I guess it's pretty much attuned, no pun intended, attuned to playing like blues, that kind of open G blues. So the last part of the video is a quick backing track I put together, just 3 chords, G, C and D. This is an open G tuning. Now, arguably, you could say it sounds a bit like Dust My Room by Elmore James, but that's pretty much all I can do at the moment. So I did that. So the first 2 minutes is me playing on the Gibson EH-125 from 1940, and then the next part is played on my 1961 Gibson Melody Maker D, which is a lovely old guitar. Now this was open tuned to G as well. I'm slightly better on the open tuning and slide on a standard guitar. So that will be the second part of the tune. And the final part is played on my 2019 Gibson 50s standard, which I traded 5 guitars for this about 4 months ago, and I've barely played it as well. I put new strings on it, so this is really the first time I've ever recorded it properly. So that's it. So the first guitar is a 1940 Gibson EH-125, the second guitar 1961 Gibson Melody Maker, and the final guitar is this one, 2019 Gibson Les Paul 50s standard. So as I say, something a bit different today, maybe a shorter video than I normally do on a Saturday, because it's funny, you know, I've been playing guitar for 40 years and I've got to the stage where I'm reasonably proficient. I mean, I'm not in any way, shape or form a great guitar player, but I can get around a fretboard. But with this, it's like starting again. It's just, I can only do a few things on it. So like I say, I maybe do a video series of seeing if I'm improving any. As ever folks, it's a privilege and a pleasure bringing you content on Dunsy's Guitar World. Cheers for now.